Звідти туди, звідси туди.
Крутили людьми то сюди, то туди.
The people were nothing. They were, if someone said them to turn right, they turned right. If someone says that they
Turn left.
must turn left,
They
turn
turned left. So they just listened and followed orders and marched off to their death.
А травка то спеціально для курчат збирається.
The grass, the herb, it's for chickens. It's for little chickens.
So now the cemetery is a great grass field for chickens, and they pick the herbs for the chickens. Wonderful. Just telling stories of some of the nicer people who tried to help.
A cousin of that woman.
A cousin of yours saved a Jew and hid the Jewish girl when he found her, at probably great risk to himself.
Great.
The Rebbe's grave? She thinks that this here was the Rebbe's grave?
Yeah.
So
Right here.
that's why it's probably on the top of the hill, featured in the most prominent spot. And this is the respect they've shown to the poor Rebbe, who could have been the Rebbe to our family. While Max and I were walking off, a new person seems to have shown up and be talking to Rabbi Kolesnik. He seems like he's older, so maybe this man has some information for us. So I'm coming over to find out who he is and what he knows.
А що тут тепер?
Hello.
Та стоїть млин.
А, такий млин так і стоїть?
Так стоїть, але не
Who is
робить.
this man? Do we know?
Як вас звуть?
Петро.
He's Peter.
Peter. Petra. Hello. And how old is Peter?
Скільки вам років?
67.
He had 67 years.
67. And he's lived here his whole life?
Я тут так, я тут все пам'ятаю, як був ще малим, я пам'ятаю.
He remembers everything.
He remembers
Все
everything.
стояли над гробків, все стояло, я пам'ятаю це все.
А то не
There were
можна було ні корову пустити, ні нічого.
What is he saying he remembers?
sometime,
Було загороджено.
many time ago, it were all in normal condition.
It was in good condition.
Було тут загороджено. Тут по великих містах доставили вже з цегли або з каміння, а так по невеличких.
Does he know any stories, or does he know? He's probably too young.
Yeah.
But could you ask him if he knows the Hutt family or Joseph Barron or the
Але
Barrons?
знали сім'ю, ну, Hutt.
Hutt.
Я не пам'ятаю.
Hutt. Hutt.
По місцевому називається Гут.
Hutt.
Ні, я такого не
Hutt.
чув.
No, he doesn't know.
Or Barron?
Листенки на стуні є тянущий чоловік.
То він так і пише Гут?
Гуд. То наша родина, вона. Ну, а він
Гут може бути з єврейської фамілії, а може бути з колоністів.
Does he know anybody who might be alive that might know more?
Так, бо то подібні.
So there he goes, and he remembers a lot, but he didn't have a lot to say, unfortunately. As he rides off past the old synagogue that we now know was a synagogue, amazingly, we made a discovery today, because according to the rabbi and everybody, there's not a synagogue standing in Ottynia, and we just found a synagogue. So that's something. And we're going to do a little exploring and discovering. And we know that the Soviets kind of had no regard or respect, but we know now that this was a Jewish synagogue. And it looks to me like this wall over here had something else in it. It might have been a doorway or something that looks like it was plugged up because of the way it's cracked. I can't tell for sure. Some kind of a chimney over here. We're going to enter this scary looking structure if we can. Oh, maybe we can't. Is that locked? There's an old bus in front of it. Max is going to see if we can find a way in. And it doesn't look like there's an entrance in.
We should find a broken window.
Так, так. Ні, то взагалі цікаво, дивіться, воно би добре, щоб було.
That's an old lock.
Обов'язково з ним...
This is the mill side, which looks like the add-on. Yes, we can hear some kind of a machine. Something is working inside.
Oh, there is wood.
Добре.
Oh, it's a wood mill. Well, we hear dogs barking, and it seems to be all gated in, but Maybe we can knock and say hello to somebody if they'll come to us. I'm going to try and see if I can at least get an overhead view. So we just asked for permission, and
owner of it, for the side of the owner about.
He's going to ask the owner if we can come inside and take a look. So we found somebody that came to the fence, and Rabbi Kolesnik seems to think that it's not a good idea because it's private. But hopefully we can get inside and maybe find some kind of an artifact or a relic, some kind of an inscription or a carving, an engraving, anything that says anything. Wouldn't it be amazing if it said Hutt? But even if it didn't, anything of the Jewish community of Ottynia that I can document. From what I've been told, we've actually just discovered the first synagogue that still stands in Ottynia. Just a view from the synagogue of the area around. And I thank Rabbi Mendy Karlebach for the suggestion of documenting this entire thing on video. Now the rabbi has climbed up to the porch step.
Austrian bricks. It's very ancient.
These are Austrian bricks. And what does that mean? This building has been here for hundreds of years. At least 100 years, probably more, a lot more. It's Austrian brick from a long time ago. Oh, there's labels on the bricks. Ah, okay, great.
It's an every brick.
It's a what kind of a brick?
Austrian brick.
Austrian brick, and that's the label that tells you that is an Austrian brick. You can see some of the broken glass, and you can see that the
This
metal
label
is
on every brick.
This label seems to be on every brick, according to Max. Rabbi is really quite an archaeologist. I tell him I said he's quite the archaeologist. Papter, what is that?
Manufacturer, maybe.
The manufacturer of the brick. We're trying to find some kind of evidence pointing to anything Jewish. And you can see that the roof right through the middle of the building. The hole in the roof.
It was a synagogue. And look up there, you see the new bricks. It's a Soviet.
So the newer bricks are Soviet bricks up on the top. The older bricks were the original bricks. So they actually made the building taller. The building probably had the original roof line over here. And this building was added on as well. So they added on to it, they turned it into a mill. They just basically absconded with it and used it for their own usage. We see the guy, and he's running and helping his friend do some kind of work, as we can see over the wall. So I guess maybe they're not interested in who we are or why we're here. Maybe they're afraid that after all these years we're trying to claim something. But there doesn't seem to be a lot of interest in trying to help us. What did he say?
He didn't know about owner. Same story.
He doesn't know what?
About owner, where he's...
Oh, he doesn't know where the owner is.
Same
So
story.
nobody knows where the owner is, but were they nasty or was he polite?
Something between.
Something in between. So they don't appear thrilled that we're here, but they're not hostile. But it looks like we're not going to be getting into this building. It looks like they don't want anybody in it. So one last look at the old synagogue, which we're apparently not going to be able to get into. The back door, I don't want to really try because they haven't been very friendly. You can see the chickens that now get to enjoy the Jewish cemetery. And I was just explaining to Rabbi Kolesnik and to Max my analogy of the chickens, and that today it's a place of chickens, just like many years ago it was a place of chickens when it was time to help the Jews and no one would.
Да, подивилися.
So I just told Max to thank Rosalia and tell her that it makes my heart feel good to know that there are some people that are nice and welcoming and want to share information and help out. Bye-bye. Thank you. That's the road to Kolomaya. The road also traveled by the Hutt family, I'm sure.
Some Jewish buildings.
These are Jewish buildings over here. Even the old church seems to be shut down and boarded up.
Great synagogue.
This is where the great
synagogue.
This is the place of the great synagogue, which is
Outside.
outside, but it's not here anymore. This is from the back end of where we were before. Some kind of a newer church that is being built. And here we're heading back down a road of some sort. These don't really look like such old buildings, though, so they look, actually everything looks old, but not old enough, I guess. And this was the old train station, so this is the station that the Hutt family would have taken trains to get out of Ottynia. For some, I guess this train station represented liberation, and for others, it represented death. So, depending on how fortunate you were. That was our tour of Ottynia, and really something. Started with a couple of guys on horse-drawn carts, which was really quite an amazing thing to see and quite interesting. And now we're on the road back to Stanislav. Now we're back, we're entering back into Stanislav. The rabbi just told me that Stanislav had 56 synagogues in it in its heyday. And how many synagogues are there today, Rabbi? Today only one. The one of Rabbi Moshe Kolesnik. This is very important for Rabbi Karlabach because we love to make fun of the name of the city. So if you could open your window for 1 minute, this is for Rabbi Karlabach. This is, you'll be thrilled to know, this is Ivano Franko. And there's his monument. And that's why we have Ivano Frankovsk. Yeah.
Там за этим домом, где музыкальная школа, там был двор Ребе из Хаймл, Барабицкого, Барабмортхала Лайфер.
One thing I learned today, which really I didn't learn, I think I knew all along, and that is, boy, am I glad that Owadia Hutt decided to get on that Nordam ship and head over to Ellis Island in 1920, because I think we're all lucky that we wound up in New Jersey.
Вот здесь было тоже много домов, тут синагога была, Сандегера Клойс, Садгура, Сандерских хасидов синагога была, и так дальше.
Here we are, back at the Rabbi's Hotel and Synagogue. Quite a journey, quite a day. Really amazing. We didn't find much, but we found more than we thought we would find. And our excitement of the day has to be that we found a Jewish synagogue in Ottynia. The rabbi says we're going to record it. We're going to let the Jewish agencies that pertain involved and let them know. But all they're really going to say is, okay. But at least a record will be made of our discovery today. And at least when future people try to come to Ottynia, it'll be marked and people will know that this was in fact a synagogue. So something wonderful came out of our day today. Small as it was, we'll have to take our solace in that.